Well, in Commitment 2022 tonight, a candidate who's stressing less speaking, more listening, and don't expect any shouting.
This Republican candidate for U.S. Senate says that's the way he hopes to stand out in the crowd and win. Tonight, WLWT News 5's John London gives us a look at the Matt Dolan roadmap.
4 of the 5 Ohio Republican Senate candidates in the primary are trying to out-Trump each other. The 5th, whom we caught up with today in Columbus, is taking a different approach. Cleveland State Senator Matt Dolan's a Trump guy who doesn't flaunt it. He voted for the former president twice and says he'd do it again. But unlike his Republican primary opponents, he's not putting emphasis on it. He's pushing policy over personality politics.
I am the only one that can point to real conservative results that I've done for Ohio, and that's what I'm going to do in Washington. So it's not a campaign strategy, it's the reality of what I've accomplished in my time in public service.
At a roundtable with law enforcement officials and former State Attorney General Betty Montgomery.
Fentanyl off the chart.
Dolan listens about drugs coming across the southern border.
As a result, unfortunately, we're seeing Ohioans die at a much higher rate than they did just a few years ago.
Dolan tells me his focus is all on what's good for Ohio. He points to how he steered several conservative state budgets. His back the blue bona fides play well around the law enforcement table. Trump comes up only when he's asked about it.
President Trump got a lot of results, and he had a different style, not my style. But everyone's trying to mimic his style, but they're forgetting he had Republican substance. And that's what Ohio Republican voters are not forgetting.
He supported the infrastructure bill shepherded by the senator he hopes to replace, another distinction he wants party voters to remember.
The political games are not being played by me, they're being played by my opponents in this race.
So the Dolan strategy is to let the other 4 carve each other up and divide the vote over who is more Trump-like. He'll find out if it works in a few weeks. In Columbus, John London, WLWT News 5.